Yo, what up peeps? Welcome to the stream. Tonight is going to be a continuation of Tuesday night's Guild Wars 2 new player experience. We just left off with the level 10 story quest. So it's going to be continuing right from there. Still in Divinity's Reach, is that what the city's called? I think it's called that. That's where I am anyway, so we'll see how that goes. Still going to be leveling up, doing extra bits, talking about MMOs, talking about life in general. If you are watching the stream right now and you think, dear God, that man looks tired, it's because I am. I've been awake since 2 o'clock this morning. Sadly, I've been having the nightmares again, so they're coming back, which is always great. Love those. They're always fun. So I'm a little bit tired today, but we're going to power through. So hopefully it's still going to be entertaining. Hopefully you guys still enjoy it. We are going to be talking about all things MMOs. Just before coming on here, I was watching Asmongold and Rich Campbell interview Yoshi P of Final Fantasy XIV. And I tell you what, whether you like Final Fantasy XIV or you don't, Yoshi P is just a genuinely nice guy. It's so weird to see, like, after years of seeing, like, Asmongold and Rich Campbell, and I was watching Preach react to it, in fact, so it was a bit weird. It's like everybody was just sort of on this video. But after watching the Preach interviews with Ian Hazakostas last year, and how he comes across and how he presents himself in those interviews, and then you watch Yoshi P interview with Rich and Asmon here, and it's like the complete opposite people. It's like it's like Ian Hazakostas is a robot and Yoshi P is a human. Like instantly, you open the whole interview with them. The first thing he said was asking about Asmongold's mum, because Asmongold's mum's not very well at the moment. She's been in hospital and there's been a whole thing with that. And he instantly just checked on her. And the fact that the head of an MMO took the time out to actually watch that. And then right after that, he was talking to Rich Campbell about the fact that Rich Campbell's just done the ultimates within the game. So he's actually done the highest content. And he was saying congratulations to him because he watched him do that as well. And you're thinking, wow, this is a guy that's in charge of this massive game that has just gone absolutely insane, and he's taken the time to watch the streamers that are playing his game. And you think, that's community engagement. That really gets people on side. That gets people evangelizing for your product, which Final Fantasy XIV players massively do. You speak to any Final Fantasy XIV player and they'll tell you it's a great game, and they'll try and persuade you to play it. On that note, did you know that they do a free trial up to level 60, including the award-winning expansion Heaven's Ward? Just food for thought. Anyway, back into Guild Wars 2 we go. It's time for me to become the not-so-terrible Necromancer. Hope you guys enjoy it. There is a new expansion coming out for Guild Wars 2. I don't know when. It's called something like Age of Dragons. I'm going to be honest, I really don't know, which is quite bad on my part. So I need to look at that. Oh, we're still doing the level 10 quest. Actually, we've got to chase the culprits. End of Dragons. We'll have to look at those. I've just had an image sent to us from a friend of mine. I think it's just going to be a meme. I don't really have the time to look at it right now because obviously I'm doing the stream. I'm just going to assume that it's very funny and we'll go from there. So let's carry on. He's a chicken chaser. That sounds right. By the way, is it just me, or do I look like emo Gandalf? Like, with this staff and that attire, I look like Gandalf the White, but, you know, listening to My Chemical Romance. I'm not complaining. I just think that's what it's a bit weird, especially as a Necromancer. Do I have my... I don't have my minions.
Your power flows through me.
It's scary to go alone. Take these. More like I look like Aragorn and Gandalf had a baby. That's what it is. Check it. I think it's the staff. Oh. Where did you come from? Oh, well, I turned up at the right time. No, I'm not going to help you. I'm going to win. That's what I'm here for. Aragorn stealing Gandalf's clothes. Yeah, Yeah, it's like when you're a kid and you put on your dad's shirt to try and pretend that you're a grown-up. It's a bit like that. Which is a bit fun considering wasn't Aragorn like 60 odd in the Lord of the Rings? Not the films, but the books, because they do it properly. Nailed it. Okay, I'm going to get my staff back out now. There we go. He was 86. There you go. I knew he was quite old, and then he dies at like 150 or something, because he's got the extended life of Numenor. Which, okay, we're going to get into an interesting one. This is an anecdote from work, because I've just realised I'm playing a Necromancer. I raised the dead, so it all ties in. Train of thought. Here we go. We're going to step away from Lord of the Rings real quick. Which I know is a shame, because I love Lord of the Rings. I, in fact, want to watch the trilogy again. I'm going to make Kirsty watch it. The extended edition. We'll do that. That'll work. So at work, one of the girls that I work with is having a psychic. Like a psychic night with her friends, bringing a psychic round to her house, and all her friends are going to have like readings for the future, and you know, maybe talk to the dead or whatever it is they pretend to do. And one of my other colleagues asked her, so she's clairvoyant, right? We're all aware what that means. The girl in question didn't know what it meant and thought that that was her name, and she went, no, she's called Joanne. So we're going to be trying to keep up with the story of Joanne Voyant, Necromancer Extraordinaire, which is why I'm a bit disappointed that I've made this guy as awesome as he is. Because I should have made a female Necromancer and just called her Joanne Voyant. It would be perfect. That's going to be my Guild Wars 1 character for when we do that. We're going to do a new player experience on that. I think Ban's going to help us out with it. And we're going to do it, and I'm going to be Joanne Voyant. That is going to be the way forward. What do we think? Yeah, I do really enjoy the aesthetics in this game. Like, when you get into the actual game, I don't mean the cosmetics, because some of the cosmetics, like how shiny they are and stuff, are just really bad. Helping us out with the Guild Wars 1 new player experience, where I'm going to be Joanne Voyant, the Necromancer. I'm not sure what was going on with the audio there. If you are having any issues with this, let us know. Yeah, I'm going to be Joanne Voyant, not Clairvoyant, Joanne Voyant. Because, remember, that's what it is. So that she's doing that on the 5th of November, which is Bonfire Night over here in the UK. So, 6th of November, I'm going to try and get all the crack on Joanne Voyant, Necromancer Extraordinaire. I don't use it in browser. I use the app. I have that downloaded on my desktop.
What else do I need?
I swear, I forgot to check after last time as well, but I'm sure this Lord Farron, the guy that does his voice, is he in Critical Role? Can somebody tell me that? Because I genuinely feel like he is.
The one-eyed told my parents I was the best student he'd ever seen.
Okay, so we're going to find some prisoners. I'm assuming that we're going in here. What's up here? Nothing. Nothing of note. We'll skip that. So yeah, Guild Wars 1, Joanne Voyant, Necromancer Extraordinaire. That's where we're going.
Are you sure it's safe here? We left a lot of wounded behind.
Why did it get rid of my summons as well, by the way? It's scary to go alone. Take these. It's Yuri Lowenthal, right? And I recognised his voice, and I thought it was because I'd been watching Critical Role, but it's not. It's because it's Yuri Lowenthal who does voices for just about everything under the sun. I don't even mind because he's got quite a good voice for voice acting. Not like me. Could you imagine hearing this voice in the game? Dear God, that'd be boring. I mean, I know you can get like Pressure Washer Simulator and all that, but you'd expect a voiceover from me to be on like Paint Dry, the MMO. Where are you running to? So remember from last time as well that I need to get a war horn to go with my axe. And my axe. So we need that. I'm going to be doing the Halloween event in Final Fantasy XIV as well when that comes out, because I love the Halloween events. The Halloween, I hope it's the haunted house again. The haunted house is so much fun. I want to do that on stream. I'm going to do it with my character in full like transmog sort of costume, Halloween style, and I'm going to do me dressed as a werewolf. I think I'm going to try and do it with werewolf hands. I like the little advice that it gives you as well on these, by the way. Starts fires. Because the voices told him to, obviously. Everybody knows. Have I seen that the Moogle treasure trove is coming back? Yes, I have. I don't even remember what's in it. Is that a way to get old content, like rewards back? Like stuff that you might only get in the cash shop these days. You might be able to get it from there. Because if so, I approve of that. Like the idea of keeping the rewards in the game and giving you an opportunity to get them. I'm on board with that. That's really good. I approve. I'm well aware that a game of that size does not need my approval, by the way. Because I also saw a statistic recently that during Stormblood, Final Fantasy XIV had 10 million players at that point, and that was a record for them at the time. And yesterday, I think it was announced, as of like yesterday, they now have 24 million players. So it's kind of smashing it out of the park at the minute, and I can understand why. And I know Guild Wars 2 is getting a lot of love from ex-WoW players as well, and I can see why on that as well. Like, I feel like I've done a disservice over the years to Guild Wars 2. I don't feel like I've given Guild Wars a fair crack of the whip, and I think that's on me. So I'm trying now, and I've got to say, it's actually quite fun.
Please, I need your help.
Let's just murder this guy.
Thank the gods you came along.
Let's free everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, they were stealing kids? What's up with that? Old mounts from beast tribes and extremes and stuff. And a new jacket. I'm going to have to look at the new jacket, because if I can wear that on my red mage, we might be onto a winner. Because a lot of the glamours in Final Fantasy XIV for casters, as we've discussed on numerous occasions, are girly as hell. They really are. And I play a Highlander. There can be only one. I play a Highlander, and it just doesn't look right. It just doesn't. Oh, it's like a Letterman jacket. No, I'm less interested then. I don't like things like that, where they bring in new world, like, modern world aesthetics. Like, it really does break the immersion and the fantasy of the game. Like, just not happy with that. Like, I'd rather they did it so it fits the aesthetic of the game. Like, even if the game has ridiculous, like, high fantasy and sci-fi elements blended together, that's fine. Like, I can genuinely believe, like, the Void Arc, for example, is all done on void magic and it flies through space and whatever. That's fine. But you put a car in there, and that's weird, because I can look outside and see a car, and that's just normal. And it breaks your suspension of disbelief. So seeing people, I know it's a big thing over in, like, Phantasy Star Online and all that, to see people walking around in, like, high school clothes and looking modern and stuff, and it breaks the suspension of disbelief of the game, which for me is just not a good thing. It's just not. It really hurts the game for me. So it's part of the thing that I dislike a lot with Guild Wars, is a lot of the cosmetics just look stupid. Like, they just look. There's a one at the moment that I have seen that is really egregious, and it's basically Sailor Moon. And I'm not being funny, but seeing that on a char is just stupid. It just does nothing for the game at all, and it's only there for fan service, and that's wrong. Like, unless you decide you're going to go down a full RP route and decide that your character's been isekai'd into the game, it's stupid, and it just works against the game. It makes the game look worse. It destroys the aesthetic integrity of the game. Because, let's be brutally honest here. Look at me in real life. Look at me right here. I am not a red-haired Gandalf, Aragorn, love child necromancer. I'm just not. But in Guild Wars I am. And, I don't know, it's like, why are they doing it? Well, there's an easy answer for why they're doing it. Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. It's exactly why they're doing it. It's the same reason why WoW gets you on a 6-month mount that looks incredible, and the ones you get in the game are just fucking reskins. The same mount, but in 5 different shades of blue. Even the Leopard Print Speedo I'm going to say no to. Even that I don't think's right. Even though I do use it with the pig head, and you are going to... I did promise you all that you will see that, because I got affiliate. So that is still on my to-do list. You are all going to get horrible, horrible visions.
You're just in time to celebrate our victory.
I'm amazed. And again, I should have known the hero of Shaymore wouldn't let your kidnapping go unanswered.
No one hurts
This is quite odd as well, because
and look,
Thackeray here sounds quite like a grizzled vet, and yet he looks like he's about 12.
Would use such expensive parchment. There's a paper maker at the trading post named Sinfurserai. Terribly.
I probably was, probably with the pig head. It wouldn't surprise us.
Captain,
Did I have champagne?
let me talk to the papermaker. I'll get the information you need without anyone realizing the Seraph are aware of the traitor in the city.
A solid plan. I'm grateful for the help, but be careful. Whoever's behind this plot is playing rough.
It was pre-pig head. Yeah, I was probably wearing a Santa hat then. Probably summit.
Fair and out of trouble between here and Divinity's Reach. No promises though.
We did it. We saved the farmers. What have we got in there? That is a mighty staff. Sounds mighty. We should go with that. And we leveled up. We've got 5 hero points. Right. Before anything else, we have a mighty staff. We're going to do it. I can gather now. That happened. Right. What have we got on here? Training. Minions. What does that one? Summons Shadow Fiend. Yes. Right, what else do we want to do? What does Corruption do? That's a utility skill. Spectral Training. Spectral Grasp. That just pulls people to you. What are these? That's some armor. That might help. But I was going to go full minions. Well of Healing. I don't care about healing. I'm here to kill things. We're going to go Death Magic. Look at it. We're going to go full Death Magic with a little bit of Blood and Soul Reaping, I think. What specialization? Do we go Reaper? Because that looks like it could be fun. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yes. That's where we're going. That one. And what does Scourge do? Oh, you can wield torches. Nobody cares. The shit. This one doesn't do summons. This is all something else. Right. We're going to sack you off because you're terrible. And when we get the opportunity to go Elite, we're going to go Reaper. Because I get to use Great Swords and summon everything. It's got a move called Your Soul Is Mine. I mean, this is the edgiest class I've ever seen. Of course I'm going down this road. I don't think there's any... I don't think it's ever in doubt. There we go. Right. Let's just leave now. So we've got to go to a trading post now, because apparently we're still doing this quest. I didn't leave, did I? Where's the trading post? Right, that's where my next quest is, but I'm sure we've got other bits that we want to go around, like the Heartwood Pass over there. We need to do that, because that's level 11. And we need to do that, because that's level 10. So where am I? I'm here, so we've got to run all the way around here. Trying not to use fast travel if I can help it. So... we're going to run. If anybody has any questions or... oh, who hit me? Oh, you want some, do you, pal? See? You got nothing. Stay down. You too. So yeah, I've been a little off my game recently. Just in a personal sort of way. I've not really been firing on all cylinders at the moment, and I've been feeling quite lethargic, and I've not been training, which I've been doing like all the time. Isn't this the very first area? Yes, it is the very first area. The whole bit is. But I'm trying to do some map completion, because there's quite a lot to explore in Guild Wars, and I want to see it. But yeah, I've not even been doing like training. I was doing press ups, sit ups, some weights and stuff at home, and I was going jogging, and I've just done nothing recently. This last week I've done nothing, and I'm definitely feeling worse for it. It's been quite difficult as well because over a year ago now, in fact, it's still not healing because I'm not letting it because I'm an idiot. I tore my quadricep in my right leg doing squats, and I chose to ignore it, and I just gritted my teeth, and I would still take my dog for a walk, and I was still doing like 12 to 15,000 steps a day, and I was still trying to train through it. And surprise, surprise, it got worse. It didn't get better, and I had to go to physio, and we had to break up a load of scar tissue, and I had to get a load of exercises to do earlier this year, and then I was doing the garden when it was sunny, and I did it again. Because I'm a moron. And I don't allow myself to heal because stuff needs done, so I'm going to do it. I don't really have a lot of time for just sitting around when there's stuff that needs done, like the garden was full of weeds, or there's a load of housework that needs done, or the dog needs walked, or whatever it is. If it needs done, I'll see it done. And quite often to the detriment of myself. I just cause myself undue stress and pain because I'm a moron. Right, we need to avoid you, so we can't come that way, so we need to come round. So going back round. Okay. Further to Meanie. Now I know this game has dungeons later on. Hopefully they're pretty cool. I don't really remember ever doing them, but I'm looking forward to trying them. I like doing dungeons and exploration and stuff in games, so I'm quite looking forward to that. I feel like we're getting quite a lot of experience for doing this story quest as well, by the way. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I'm already level 13, so quite happy with that. I'm still doing level 10 quests. Now, for my Halloween stream, because I will be streaming on actual Halloween night as well, I'm thinking, do I play MMOs and do I do all of the MMO-based stuff, or do I play something else and look for an actual horror game? And just do horror games for the night. And just have a bit of a laugh. Seeing what happens, because I think that could be quite fun. Like, particularly, like, really jumpy ones as well. I'll even, like, dim the lights so that it's, like, we really get the feeling, and I'm not just dimming the lights so that the kids don't knock on the door looking for sweets and whatnot. Not at all. Not pretending I'm not at home. No, I'm doing it for the atmosphere. Right, so that's level 11. So we could do that on the way around. I think we probably should. We should do that one, and then we can do that one, and then we can do this one that's... although we might out-level the level 10 one. So I should probably go to the level 10 one first and just run past all of this. Which is really annoying. Oh look, it's Aragon of Rivendell. Let's see if they've designed a character that looks like him. Let's see if we can get close. Where you going, Aragon?
I threw the bones this morning. According to Brent, we're in for a safe journey.
apparently he's faster than I am. Hey, Craig. Welcome to Guild Wars, mate. It's Guild Wars 2 as well. Not Guild Wars 1, because we are going to do Guild Wars 1, the new player experience, where I will, of course, be playing the Necromancer, Joanne Voyant. That is happening. Am I going the right way? Fudge, I need it. Right, we need to go up here. Can we run up this mountain? Right, the graphics are really hurting now to look at. Like, that is just not good to look at. But then it gets good when you get up here. But that little patch there, it just looks blurry. It looks like I'm wearing glasses and I've taken them off. Like when you get too close to it, it just goes... It looks really good from far away, but then you get quite close and it just doesn't look that good to me. Hard to be a bad necro when they're pretty OP. Thank you for the welcome to Guild Wars, and I'm going to say, if there's a way to be a terrible necromancer, you're looking at the guy that'll find it. I will show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Here we go. Is that me breathing underwater? I mean, it should be, because I can breathe underwater, right? Because you get the things. Literal AFK Necro Farms. I'm telling you now, if there is a guy that can fuck that up, you are talking to him. Right, we're going to do my least favourite part of Guild Wars, and that is the underwater combat. I don't think there's ever been an MMO that has done underwater combat well. Right. Why is this thing not taking any damage? Oh, it's immune to damage. Right, we're going to take it to the trap. That makes sense. There you go. Caught. Now it makes sense. Right, what can I do with you? Yeah, it's all to do with the Z-axis. Like, it's a problem that New World has at the minute, but not with underwater combat, because you can't fucking swim in that game in 2021. You walk into it like one of the pirates from Pirates of the Caribbean. You know that scene where they all come under the boat and there's the moonlight and there's just the dead skeletons walking through? That's how it feels to go swimming in New World. It just doesn't work. But the second something's slightly above or slightly below you, it feels a bit janky. And I don't know if that's just me. Do we go with Shadow Fiend or do we go with Bone Fiend? I think for swimming we're going to try the Shadow Fiend. And of course I'm having you, because these guys don't need to breathe. One's a ghost and one is... something. Right. Get over here. Why are you not coming? Get over here. Now don't turtle. That doesn't help anyone. You're not a turtle, you're a crab. Get over here. I really shouldn't have my minions out for this, should I? Because they just steal aggro and I can't do anything. So I'm going to dismiss you. You can go. We'll bring you back. Can I dismiss him? No. Like, does he have his own... Right, there we go. What can I do with you? Nothing. If anybody has played Guild Wars 2 before, can you dismiss a pet? Like, am I missing something? Unless that redhead girl from Aquaman. I was about to trigger everyone and just say Ariel. Do 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 do. Right. Now we're getting it. No, no. Bad Char. Bad kitty. Go get some kibble. This is mine. What are you doing? Oh, nah. Nah, mate. Nah. Get yourself away. No, it's always Under the Sea. It is the best song in that entire film. It's a known fact. Oh, I can kill these. It's like, I'm about to say something real controversial right now. The best Disney film of all time. Hercules. Yeah, and I was fighting a crab, so it makes sense that it's Sebastian's song. Haha, he's already there. Nah, sucker. No, The Lion King's great, right? Because long live the king, and Mufasa is a king, no matter what anybody says. And Aladdin's pretty good, but Hercules has always been my favourite, because James Woods is just fantastic as Hades. He really is. And it just has the best sort of soundtrack, even though Robin Williams is a legend, and he always will be. Because you ain't never had a friend like him. Yeah, instantly, the fact that I can swim, even though I don't really like the underwater combat, even though I can do this, it's significantly better than New World already. Just because I can do this. Look at me, I swim. It happens. By the way, what does the little shiny circle, like, sunlight beam up there mean? Are they like prestige or something in Call of Duty? And yeah, I'm going to be asking a lot of noob questions, so if you are a veteran of this game, bear with us, because I will suck. And you will laugh, hopefully. Hopefully it'll be entertaining while I'm terrible. Oh yeah, where'd he go? Like, if you pick his name there, he's got a level 11 next to him, but he's got that little circle that looks like a sun. Yeah, but at least you're offering advice as well, so I appreciate that. Mastery points. So it is like Call of Duty Prestige then. Right, I'm with you. And is that what you spend on Reaper? Because that's the end game right there. I mean, look at some of the names on these. Your Soul is Mine. Chilling Nova. Relentless Pursuit. It's just the... You are all weaklings. I mean, suffer... It is an edgelord's dream. It really is. I am here for it. I'm on board. Ban, you're playing Reaper in Final Fantasy XIV when it comes out. This is like preparing the edge. You'll be ready. Oh, he's already right next to the cage. Oh, not apparently. Masteries. Oh, right, like these. Alright. That's something to look at. Are they bringing out new specs in End of Dragons? Era of Dragons? They are. Have they released any information on all of the new specs and stuff? Because it would be quite interesting. I'm going to be honest, I have kind of come in a bit blind into this, so... It's been a long time. Ah... Yeah, seriously, if anybody's watching this in the chat and you want to help a guy out, how the hell do I unsummon something? Or do I just wait till it dies? Not for all of them, the space in them out. Alright, so they'll release some of them, because I have tried to play a ranger in the past, because, as we were talking about Lord of the Rings before, I am quite the fan of Lord of the Rings, and particularly Aragorn, and the idea of being a ranger is very much an appeal to me. So, I didn't kill you. See, now that is a bad design for me then. The fact that you can't dismiss your pets. Like, that's not particularly great. I'm surprised they haven't, because this game's been out for a long time, so I'm surprised they haven't done anything with that yet. Like, as a pet class as well, it's pretty standard crack in an MMO to be able to dismiss your pet, so that's a negative. I mean, overall the game's pretty damn positive, to be honest, apart from the underwater combat, but I hate underwater combat in every MMO. Nobody's ever done it well. And the fact that I can't dismiss my pets and I've just got to wait for them to die. With rangers you can, but with necromancers you can't. I mean, that just seems like a bit of an oversight to me. And I imagine at this point they've just left it in because it's a bit late to change it, but it's still a little bit meh. Which is quite sad, because overall things are quite... Right, we're going to go down there because that's level 11, we're doing them in order. Have I missed anything around here that I can, like, jump up? Right, we need to look at all that as well, that's all to clear. I am going for map completion as well for anybody that's watching, because I enjoy that. Right, there's nobody really on here, so we're going to move, and then we get 15% experience, so yes. I'm going to click that. That's quite a nice little feature as well, like, almost like the Sharding in World of Warcraft. For collecting... Is it a Pokemon one? Is it called Gotta Catch Them All? Because, quite frankly, that is an easy win. Oh, it dismissed my pets because I moved maps. Wow, that sucks.
Arise, my creation.
Hey, you leave Mr. Krabs alone. He's a very valued member of this team. Can I not hurt them? I can hurt them. Right. Yeah, you get that with some classes, don't you? Where you try it and it's just not for you. Like, I know I'm playing an edgelord here. I mean, Necromancer, I mean, whatever. But in Final Fantasy XIV and in pretty much any other game as well, I just can't bring myself to play Paladin. I just can't. The whole holier-than-thou-ness of a Paladin and the fact that you're lawful stupid, I just can't do it. You want to be a greatsword Mesmer? Now, Mesmer's something I've heard a little bit about, but I don't know a lot about. Is Mesmer the one that controls time? Because Time Mage sounds awesome. Is Guardian a bit like a D&D fighter? Like, you're melee, congratulations, here's a big hammer, a sword, an axe, whatever, just go smash things until I can't smash it anymore. Because there's nothing wrong with that, that's quite fun. But normally, I mean, ideally, I would love to be able to play a spell sword, because as anybody that watches anybody that watches the stream and follows the channel and whatnot will know my absolute love of being able to be a hybrid melee caster. Spell sword is my ideal. It's the class that I want to play in every game. And sadly, nobody ever does it. Or if they do, it's not quite right. Revenant. Is Revenant... I thought Revenant looked a little bit like a monk. Maybe, or was that just me? Or am I thinking of something different? Was that the one where when you look in the character creator, he's got like a bandana over his face? Yeah, right. I stayed away from that one a bit because I don't really like monk classes. But you're telling me I could have been a spell sword in that, and in which case I'm really disappointed in myself. Ah, it's a rabbit. Kill it. We're cool. We got it. It's kind of like... I struggle a lot with monk classes. I don't like it in Final Fantasy XIV, and I don't like it in World of Warcraft either. And I think that, again, that's just me. I think it is just me. It's just one of them classes that just doesn't sit well with me. I did start as a monk because I wanted to play ninja. You want me to re-roll? No, if I re-roll, I told you I'm gonna be a necromancer again, and I'm gonna be Jane Voyant, not clairvoyant. No, sorry, Joanne Voyant. That's where we're gonna go. Yeah, I probably should have done that. It probably would have made sense. But I quite like the idea of just going through and muddling my way through it, because I like exploring MMOs. Like, I know a lot of people like to get to the end game, and particularly if you're coming from World of Warcraft, a lot of people like to just get to that end game and just run the dungeons and run the raids. And for me, MMOs are about more than that. The journey is part of the experience, the sort of the fleshed out world. Like, I will say that I really do enjoy the lore of Guild Wars so far. Like, the little bits that I know, for example, about the 95% of us don't even have map completion. Nobody does that in any game. Like, it's rare to find somebody who's got every single map, or, you know, like Lore Walker in WoW, for example. That was something that I was going to do for myself, and then I decided that I actually just really don't like World of Warcraft. Because they took the world out of World of Warcraft, and that's really sad. Because you sit there in Ouroboros and you run around. Endgame stuff doesn't come easy. But it shouldn't. I don't... That's part of the thing with me. I don't think that you should get a participation trophy in an MMO. I think there should be some content that you just can't do unless you're good. I think there should be things like that. But at the same sort of standard of that shouldn't be the entire game. You shouldn't design the entire game around the 1 or 2% of players that are at that very high end, like the Mythic Raiders, or you shouldn't do that, because that's how you end up with World of Warcraft in its current iteration, where you literally do Mythic Plus, Raid, or PvP, and then outside of that, there's literally no reason being there. Oh, right. By the way, buying them, is that with gold in game, or is that like a pay to win mechanic? Because pay to win is really prevalent in MMOs, and I'm really not a fan. I hate the fact that they prey on you like that. It's gold in game, right? That's good. And they don't do like a WoW token where you can buy gold in the game, do they? Because I'm not saying that the WoW token is pay to win, but I'm saying it's pay to win. The fact, and for people that want to argue with me on that as well, because some people do, because everybody has their own sort of definition of pay to win. Now mine is simply that you're spending real money to give you an advantage over another player who's not spent that money. So that is you paying to win. The WoW token falls into that category because people, some people are, you know, grinding up the gold to get it in game, and then trading it for the WoW token to buy game time or whatever. But not a lot of people do that, and I think Blizzard artificially inflate the gold price as well to keep it steady so it's worth buying. Because if they get a sub from somebody buying a WoW token, a sub is, say, a tenner a month, but a WoW token's 17 pun. So, sorry, I'm going really British in my slang there, and I apologise for that. £17. And if they get the WoW token from somebody who's trading it for the gold, and then somebody comes along and buys a subscription with it, that subscription's literally worth like 50% more to Blizzard just for existing. So, but back to my point with the WoW token, people use the WoW token in-game to get boosts through Mythic Raid or to get full gear. You buy yourself like 4 or 5 WoW tokens, you trade that in, and suddenly you're getting a carry through the Mythic. It's whatever it is now with Sylvanas Windrunner, who, by the way, don't get me started on the whole story points of World of Warcraft, because I'm not saying it's shit, I'm just saying it's terrible. But they'll use it to get carried all the way through and to get full gear, like, funneled into them and stuff. So then you see somebody, like, imagine you've gone through the Mythic Raid, or you've gone through the highest end dungeon, and you've got the gear from there, and you feel quality about it. You can buy $100 of gems, and that gives you 800 gems, and then you can get roughly 1,700 gold. And is that bought direct from ArenaNet, or is that, like, third party? Because that's part of the reason I dislike the WoW token as well, is... Oh my god. So it's WoW token, right? And as I say, I hate this so much because it's predatory. And they make it so that you've got to spend this money in order to get ahead. Like, it's the same crack when people give them the PR spiel of it's pay for convenience. It's pay to not be inconvenienced. They make the game worse and then sell you the solution to the thing that they've made worse. It's not good. And, like, in WoW, people use it to funnel themselves, or they do it in PvP and things like that. And I imagine people in this game probably do farm for gold, but there's a lot of people that will still buy those gems because, quite frankly, the best... What was it somebody said about Hearthstone that I saw today? Somebody said the best trading... The best card in a Hearthstone pack is your credit card. And that made me laugh, because when a game gets so pay to win like that, it's like Black Desert Online. It might be a good game for some people, but that game is predatory pay to win. It's the same as like when games, for example, give you like 5 bag slots, and you can buy more for 20 quid. Like that's just wrong to me, because they could just put that in the game and have it as a game mechanic, but they're doing it to squeeze a little bit of extra money out of you. Now, I can almost understand it in a game like this, where you buy it once and you play forever, because it doesn't have that subscription, which is why I think it doesn't get as updated as it, or for a while it went really quiet on the updates in this game, and it wasn't getting nearly updated as much as it should have, and it wasn't getting the regular like update cadence that you'd expect from a game where you're paying a sub, because they need to make the game good all the time for you to get a sub. But again, that changes with World of Warcraft, because they do the 6-month mount, and then you get one load of content for a month, and then you get nothing for 6 months because they've already got your money. You have 1,250 selling that to a merchant will get you 375 gold, but it's taking you months to say that, because that's what I mean. So that's what I mean. You've taken all of that time and you've ground out all of that currency, and it. Let's be honest, the exchange rate is a quarter of the value of those shiny baubles that you've just said there. It's a quarter, so the exchange rate's fucking shocking for all that hard work. Or you can go to a website and input your credit card details and boom, nailed it. That's pay to win. However you want to look at it, that is pay to win. Because the person that is just going in and spending that money doesn't have to take months to grind what you did. They get it straight away. And then they can spend that time doing whatever. And that's wrong. And it's like people that get gear funneled to them when they're pretending they can play a game, and they get a clear, and they've paid for it, and yeah, and it's one of them where when you're within the game, a lot of people will ignore it because you're within the game and you're playing the game anyway, or you're doing what you want to do. But it doesn't change the fact that it's there, and it doesn't make it better. And I'll say that about any game. I'll say that I personally I love Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV is one of my favourite games. But I feel like at the moment that game is getting such a free ride when it comes to its cash shop, and it's getting such a free ride when it comes to the monetization of it, because people kick off at Blizzard, and rightfully so, because Blizzard are pretty damn scummy, let's be honest. But people are kicking off at Blizzard because you pay a box price, you pay your subscription, they've got a cash shop, you've got Boost, you've got WoW Token. They're literally just chucking ways for you to pay them money to not have a shit experience in their game. And Final Fantasy XIV does a lot of the similar stuff, but the difference in Final Fantasy XIV I found is that the standard of the content is still pretty damn high. So, does that get rid of my glowy eyes? Oh, it does. That's disappointing. I liked my glowy eyes. But you end up going into the game, and just the fact that the game is decent kind of gives them a bit of a ride. Like, the content's still good. I feel it'll get to a point where the content isn't that good anymore, or you're not getting the same experience that you're used to, and you're not getting the... What do you mean? Because you would have to still buy the different currencies, I imagine, if you're buying them, and then trade them to whoever. There's extra steps to it to make it feel a bit more... to make it feel a bit more palatable, but it's still using real money to get ahead. Like, for me it is anyway. As I say, people have different opinions on pay to win, and some people will agree with me and some people don't, and that's fine. So most of the currencies that you get, you've got to do within the thing. So what was that thing you were saying about where you can just buy from ArenaNet? Because I imagine if you've still got to do that to get some of the gear, then that's actually pretty good, and I'm okay with that. That's fine. Like, having currency within the game that you've got to earn only within the game, that's fine. But the second that you can actually just type in your credit card details and get that same currency, it devalues the efforts of every player. It shows you that they don't value your time within the game, and that is horrible. And that's where, like, that's where a lot of games have fallen down, particularly. And again, it's such a low-hanging fruit. World of Warcraft. Like, just look at World of Warcraft. They do that all the time. Oh, yeah, I can see that now. The fact that you've got to buy gems, and then you've got to trade them in there. It's just extra steps, but it's still that still looks like pay to win to me. Like, it still looks bad, and I don't like that, and I think that's It's not even just having a dig at Guild Wars 2 for that either, because as I've pointed out there's so many MMOs that do that these days, and it's bad in the whole genre. And part of the reason for that is I don't know if you're aware that video games are the biggest entertainment sort of. I'll just do it here. I'm standing here anyway. So I'm in my inventory. I've got a lot of karma, and I've got 19 gold. So click on wallet. I don't know what they do. I've got guild commendations. I've got some transmutation things. Badges of honor. I've done World v World apparently. That must have been a while ago. But yeah, there's like a lot of different currencies, and I feel like is that going to be on every single is that going to be on every single sort of patch cycle? So they change the thing to sort of invalidate what's come before. And then they'll probably sell you the solution to that as well, which a lot of games do again. And it is because video gaming is the biggest entertainment business in the world. It's bigger than film, it's bigger than TV, it's bigger than music, it's bigger than live sport, it's bigger than all of that. Because there's so much money to be made in video gaming. So a lot of companies are trying to squeeze players. And that's not necessarily a good thing, but it's kind of accepted these days. Right. You see, that is fine when you're saying about the trade contracts and you can only get them within the game doing missions and stuff. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But being able to literally just buy gold the way that you can, I don't like that. That is just It's just cleverly disguised pay to win. And I know you're saying a lot of people don't do that and most players don't do that, but it's the fact that it exists and that players do that. And then they always pretend that it's for the guy who's like in his 30s, in his 40s, he's got a couple of kids, he can only game for like an hour a day, and they're doing it for the little man. They're not. They're absolutely not. They couldn't give a crap about Jimmy and his 12 kids. They don't care. They're doing it because it earns them money. Because it is a business. And the sad part is it's both a business and it's art. Like the game itself is very like the people that make the game are artists, like digital artists, the coders, the quest designers, the writers, the music, because the sound in this game is brilliant. I love the music in this game. It really does like double down on a lot of the stuff within the game, and it really like gives you the feeling of the zone that you're in, and it's great. And that's all art. But then you've got the guys who don't care about how good the game is. They don't care about how good my experience is playing this game, or how good your experience is playing this, or how good the game is. They're the guys that are like, is it viable? Will players play it? Is it at least enough that people will give us money for it? Ship it. They are the suits. They are the corporate people. They are the people that are in charge. And they've both saved and broke gaming, because they're the people that allow us to have games that in the first place, like that are big enough to play like this. But then they're also bleeding it dry. Oh, this guy's taking a while to die. I'm going to swap back to my axe. I like this for immersion, by the way. There's a person there that's been slaved up and we're supposed to be freeing them. But I already did the little heart thing, so sucks to be them. We're out. I'm not gonna lie, right? When I saw this guy's name, Necrosius, I thought it was gonna be Necromancer. No. He's a rogue. Obviously. That's the greatest piece of stealth I've ever seen, so you don't even realise what class he's playing. You look at him from a distance in World v World or PvP and you think to yourself, that's a Necromancer. I'm gonna be ready for a Necromancer, and then he's like, poof, surprise! Oh, there's a hero point down there. Oh no, Tamini. I've got to admit, Necromancer is so much fun. Like, I did main for years. I mained a Death Knight in World of Warcraft. I did, because it felt the closest to a spell sword for one when you played Frost Death Knight. And then they made Frost Death Knight shit. And then I started playing Unholy Death Knight. And Unholy Death Knight was just so much fun. It was just summon all the minions, pressed like 2 buttons and watch them AoE everything into the floor. But you were there leading the charge with your army of the dead, and it was a real... It was so edgy. I loved it.
Humans aren't the only people harassed by the centaurs. There's a friendly
Okay, so that's level 14, so we're going to come back that way then.
They would be powerful allies if we could get them to work
Because I am the right level for it. But I've still got level 13. Oh, there's a spider. Kill it. Toodaloo, fake Necromancer. We're going back north because we've got to go see... I'm sure up here there's like a strongman, isn't there? There is, it's that hero point. We're going to go do that. We're going to go fight a strongman. Oh. See, that's an advantage to playing Necromancer. I was clearly AFK the crap out of this game, and yeah, I'm still here. It's fine. Because my pets have obviously got my back. That's why I can't unsummon them, because I'd forget to do that and I'd die. Oh, Wait, this bit's not unlocked, so we're gonna go up here. I probably should do the actual quest at some point as that I'm on as well, shouldn't I? I am supposed to be going to the trading post. I like that, and I don't like that. I like that in the sense of it keeps everything relevant. I love that, but I also, well, no. In fact, I'm just going to straight up say it. I love it. I love the fact that it does that. I love the fact that, say, any of the guys like Ban in chat, for example, decided to play Guild Wars 2 right now, and go sod it. I've seen Carl here running around. He's having the time of his life. I'm going to join in, and he's like, but I hope he's there to give us a hand. And I could be like 2 zones over and come back, and then I'm still brought down to level 14, so it's still all relevant for me coming to give him a hand. And I like that. That really does help the game feel more alive, because oftentimes you go in an MMO, and you can see the start zones, and again, it's a low-hanging fruit, so we're gonna take it. And I feel bad for doing it because it's a low-hanging fruit. There's no real effort in this. World of Warcraft. If you go to the starting areas in World of Warcraft, it is dead. It is dead. Because what is the point in running around Elwyn Forest these days unless you happen to be on an RP server? And if Craig's still in the chat, he knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, so unless you happen to be an RP server, you're not going to see anyone in Elwyn Forest, because what's the point? They'll all just die through BFA, get straight into Shadowlands, because it takes you 5 minutes to level, and you just get straight into the end game.
That weakness will be their downfall.
Whereas Guild Wars 2 here, like, I'm seeing players all over the place. And I don't know if that is because they're all WoW refugees leveling like myself or whatever. But it's always great when you go into a game, and particularly an MMO, because remember that an MMO is a virtual world, and we are basically the custodians of a virtual world. So it's always great to go in and see new blood all the time. It lets you know that your game's still alive. Like, even when I go to Final Fantasy XIV, and if I'm sitting in Limsa, and there's sprouts all over the place, it's good to see them. And if I go into a dungeon with a sprout, I always try and make a point of helping them out as well if they don't understand something, because let's be honest, we've all been new once, and we've all been in the dungeon, and we've all wished that somebody would give us a hand with something because we haven't got a clue, and we don't want to go in and look like a complete noob, even though I am a complete noob. So if I have knowledge about something and I see new players in, then I'm happy to pass that on, and I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help with rotations, mechanics, everything. Because people have done it for me, and it's only right that I pass that on. It's like, like when I can, I try and do raids at the end of my streams, because I've had a couple myself, and I am a small streamer, as you're probably aware, and that, because I started this channel just for me, and just to get over a few mental health issues and things that I've got. And I've had a couple of people raid us, and it was massively appreciated when people do that, because it really does help, like, all of that, all of the likes, follows, subscribes, and all that. And I know it's a bit of a meme, you know, like and subscribe and all that crack. So like you did with Unholy Death Knight back in the day. Yeah, exactly like you did. Yeah, because I was playing Unholy Death Knight with you, Craig. And now I'm going to tell everybody a quick story, right? When we were playing World of Warcraft, and I went on the RP server for Europe, I forget what it's called, Craig will be able to fill you in a minute. But I did that because I thought, right, I've tried doing the whole end game, I've tried doing the mythic raiding, and it burns us out, and I wasn't enjoying it, so I thought, I'm going to take it a bit more chilled, and I've heard RP servers are good for that. So I'm going to join an RP server, because everybody's more laid back, and I'm just going to experience it and enjoy the game. And so I went to Goldshire because I was trying to do the classic leveling, and you get sent into the inn. No, because I was Alliance, and I've not forgotten Goldshire, but I forgot the name of the server. And I went into the inn in Goldshire, and there's certain things that you just can't unsee. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you with us. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Hopefully, hopefully I'm not so much of a noob that you get annoyed at us and think, why isn't this guy doing this? Because I'm going to tell you why I'm not doing it. Because I don't know how to do it. I'll be brutally honest with you. And I'm aware that I'm bouncing around from topic to topic because I'm about to tell everybody the story of how I found the inn in Goldshire on this RP server. It was Argent Dawn, thank you. That was the name of the server. I found the inn because I was doing quests, and I happened to be on Discord at the time with Craig there, and exactly, it's story time. Gather around, kids. I shouldn't say gather around, kids, for this story. It's not a good story for that. And yeah, so I was in the voice chat with a friend of mine called Chris, and I was in there with Craig, and yeah, it is. It's like watching I enjoy that as well. I enjoy watching new players do stuff because it is like it never quite recaptures the magic of being new yourself and replaying it for the first time. But it is like the closest you can get, and I approve of that. No, I don't want to touch the cat. I want to carve the pumpkin. So anyway, yeah, Craig. So I went into the inn in Goldshire. Back to the story. Back on point. I'm here. I'm focused. This is professional here, people. This isn't just a guy pretending he knows what he's doing. And I went into the inn in Goldshire, and I'm guessing you can all tell where this is going. How many of you here have ever heard of the classic ERP? Because I had an eye-opening experience that day. Half the time we see stuff and we're like, what a noob. Reminds me at least of what dumb brain I had. Mate, honestly, even if I was playing this game for hours and hours and hours and I got to the top end and everything, I still have my dumb brain moments. Like, my main MMORPG for years was Final Fantasy XIV, and I cleared all the high-end content. I did the Savage Raids. I was... like, I was pretty damn good. I was a main tank, and I'm still the guy that disengages off platforms because I'm a moron. But yeah, sorry, I'm still telling this story because we've got to get to the point where Craig understands why when I did it, it was a mistake. And yeah, showed you around Goldshire. I'm sure you paid good money for that, man, because as I found out, it gets real interesting. So you get a quest and you go into we'll pretend this building here is the inn. This is the Goldshire Inn. So here we go. We're going in. I have a quest to do. And then you go in here, and there is a blood elf lady in no clothes dancing on the table. Giving it a quick jig. I mean, skills. Dance off bro, me and you. And there's people chucking money at her, because why not? And then you go upstairs, and this is where it gets real interesting. There is somebody lying on the bed moaning, while a druid in cat form is on top of them, and a tauren is stood next to the bed in no pants. And the NPC I needed to hand the quest into is here. And I'm on Discord with Craig and Chris, and I'm saying, oh my god, what is this? What have I walked into? What is this crack? And then, I kid you not, within 2 minutes, Craig has made himself a character on Argent Dawn to come to this inn in Goldshire, because it's a mistake. Sure it is, Craig. Sure it is. I'm sure the 20 times you went after I stopped playing are a mistake as well. Here we go. So there you go, guys. That's story time. Craig, it definitely wasn't a mistake. You can pretend as much as you want. Everybody knows. He's saying there in the chat trying to play all innocent. It haunted me. That's why you kept going back. That's why you made a character to turn up. And I was like, nah. I was there by mistake. I was there doing quests. I was just going along. I was just playing the game. And then I'm in the... and I even streamed it in the Discord for you, so it's not even as though you didn't know it was there. You came to see this. You chose this. You chose that lifestyle. So that begs the question, what is your persona? You're going to have to tell us all. I assume it's some sort of, like, furry dragon or something. It's Sindragosa because he likes playing undead characters. There you go. It's sorry, it's been really difficult to have this this conversation, and I'm not saying that as though it's like difficult for me to talk about or any of that crack. It's difficult because there's a delay between me and you guys, so the chat turns up and it's a point that I made like 10 minutes ago, and I'm like, oh yeah, I said that. Again, professional. I'll have you all know I'm an affiliate, so... Which, based on the Twitch leak, it's definitely, if you were to look at it, I definitely have enough for like a single Freddo, maybe, if I'm lucky. Well, no, Freddos are going up in price, so no, I probably don't even have that. But any sort of subs or anything that I've got, I fully intend, I'm just going to chuck it back into the channel, whether it's to buy expansions for games, or to buy games, or to upgrade equipment and whatnot. That's all to do. Like, I'm saving for a new PC, because my PC is old at the minute, and it's, I want to do YouTube content as well, and not in the sense of like my opinion on MMOs or my opinion on this or reaction to this, because I'm just not interested enough to do that. What instead I'm going to do, and I hope you guys think this would sound interesting, and it's something that I do want to do, and I have tried to do it, but my PC's sadly incapable of rendering video fast enough, is it's an MMO travel channel. So, like, going around the areas in Guild Wars 2, or Elder Scrolls Online, or Final Fantasy 14, or not New World because I didn't like New World, or Old School RuneScape, or the game that I am going to main when it comes out, Ashes of Creation, and showing you the different locations within the game, giving you the lore sort of side of why the village is here, and what it brings to the village, and what it does and whatnot. And then, on top of that, also giving you the real-world examples of what inspired them. So, like, Uldar in Final Fantasy 14, for example, is very Persian. So we talk about things like Prince of Persia, you'll talk about the Middle East, talk about, like, different sites that they're bringing in from, because it might be that they watched Aladdin in 1994 and decided, hell yeah, I want to go run around that, and built a city like that. And you know what I mean? Bring those sort of things in, and just make a quick sort of 10-minute video and just do those sort of things. That's what I want to do with my with a lot of my content. But as I say, my PC is not good enough, so I'm saving up to get a new PC, so when that gets sorted, it's going to be class, and I'll be able to play games better, I'll be able to do it on improved graphics, and hopefully even the sort of rendering of me on this webcam and whatnot will look better, hopefully. As you can tell, I'm also in my front room. As you can see, the lovely door behind us, which leads to the actual front door to my house. But I am going to be moving my PC, so you will be getting a new background soon. I've persuaded my wife to let me run because the Wi-Fi in this house is terrible. Like, the internet speed, I'm right next to the router here, and it is really good here. But the second you go anywhere out of this room, the walls are like lead-lined or something, it just stops. So I've persuaded her to let me run a cable down the stairs, like an Ethernet cable, quite a long one. And I might just get a white one so it kind of blends in with the wall a bit and just tack it in. And then maybe like wrap some like flowers or something around and pretend it's a feature. But move upstairs and have like a designated area to actually do my gaming and my streams, and hopefully give you guys something a bit more interesting to look at than a glass door. And some shoes as well, because if you look in the little corner you can see shoes. I think you can see shoes. You can see a shoe rack. Right, we're running back over to here. We're going to go do the informant. Sorry, we're going to go do the quest, the informant. We're not going to go do the informant. This is not Goldshire. Craig, calm yourself down. Yeah, like, part of the reason I started the channel as well, I've got a lot of issues with how I look. I don't like my own appearance. I've got quite a lot of insecurities that way, and I also don't like my voice. I think I sound very boring. And my accent as well. I'm not really a fan of that. And the true end game for this stream is pubcam. Well, the pup's not very well, so hopefully she'll feel better soon. In fact, I've got a message from my wife, so hopefully it's just... Oh, she's just shouting at me because I'm very shouty. Which is fine, that's her problem. I was hoping she was giving us an update on my dog. But, yeah, like, I'm not a fan of how I look and how I sound and stuff, so I started doing it. So I thought the best way to get over it all is to stream because I enjoy playing MMOs and whatnot, and I was really missing a connection with people and feeling that connection with people as we go along. And the fact that people keep turning up to watch my streams, it does mean the world to us. The fact that I got affiliate, the fact that I've got 67 followers now, 2 more, and I will put up a very nice tweet, and all it will say is nice. And the fact that people turn up, and the fact that hopefully I'm giving people at least entertainment for the brief period of time. Thank you. I really appreciate that. One more, and I'm going to put up a tweet that's all it's going to say is nice. Because you can follow me on Twitter, and I do have a Discord server for this. The link should be below on Twitch, if anybody's watching that. Craig sat there saying, but it's not the bake. You're right, it's not. Bake Off nights are Tuesdays, and I do get told that. You like me because I'm a derpy noob. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I am derpy as hell, it's fine. I get distracted quite easily. Unless I'm actually raiding and then I actually do focus, because as we've discussed previously, I have actually cleared quite a lot of stuff. Oh, thanks, Ban. I would do that myself sometime, eventually, but I keep forgetting. Because I am sort of running all this myself, so as well as like starting the stream to get over a few mental health hiccups and whatnot, as I'm calling them, rather than problems, because that just makes it sound worse. It's teaching us some new skills. Like right now, effectively, what I'm doing is presenting, and like I'm learning presenting skills. I'm learning to change the way that I talk, the way that I sound, so that it's more appealing to people, and that I can actually articulate my points better, to the point where people understand what my point of view is. Hopefully I'm doing a good enough job that people do understand what my point of view on stuff is, and I'm not just sat here spouting shit, because that would get real boring. And I genuinely appreciate the fact, like, I stream 3 days a week, and I appreciate everybody coming and watching us, because I do it for a couple of hours, so even if people only stop in and give us 10 minutes at the time, it's still 10 minutes that they've chose to spend on me, and I appreciate that, because frankly, when I started this channel, I thought it was just going to be me screaming into the void. I thought that was going to be it. It was just going to be me, and it was just going to be absolute radio silence, and I was going to be having a conversation with a mic and the wall behind it, because that was all that was going to be here. So I really do appreciate that. Even if people can't stay for an entire stream, or even if they only come in and watch us for a couple of minutes and decide that I'm a dick and they don't want to watch my stream, that's fine too. Like, honestly, I know that I may not be for everyone, and I know that not everybody's going to agree with some of the things that I say, and not everybody's going to agree with some of the things that I play, and that's fine, because I'm a variety MMO streamer, because I absolutely love the MMO genre. Like, the idea of being able to jump into a fantasy world and to be... I don't know how many other people do this, because I do this personally. I don't RP, and I definitely don't ERP, Craig. But my character, my avatar, is my extension of me in this world. It's the me that I want to be. It's a part of me, and that's the same for any MMO that I'm in. So the fact that you can go and join all these fantasy worlds with other people and stuff, and realistically try and be the best version of you that you can be, I love that. I love the MMO genre, and I feel like it's having a bit of a renaissance recently, and I'm here for it, because for too long it was why do I always say ARP towards you? Like, because we need to go back to the Goldshire story, because I'll go back. But yeah, like the MMO genre for years was so stale because WoW was so big, and people were locked into WoW. And it comes to the sunk cost fallacy and stuff.
You said centaurs. You didn't
Wow.
mention cannibals. Double the pay or we're leaving.
Double? How am I supposed to make a
Okay.
profit with trucks? Forget it.
Yeah, so the fact that WoW had like a stranglehold on the genre for so long, and people only ever played WoW, and the thing is, people played WoW for so long, they got so invested in it that they didn't know about any other games out there. So it's quite hard, because to get people to move from one MMO to another, You're not just getting them to move from one MMO to another, you're getting them to move communities. And the community within each game is different. Like, Guild Wars 2 is completely different to old school RuneScape, is completely different to Final Fantasy, is completely different to what World of Warcraft was. Not necessarily what World of Warcraft is, because nobody really knows what it's going to become next.
What do you cost?
Cost? I'm not a
Oh.
mercenary. I'm here to ask for help identifying
I
the
mean,
craftsmanship of
I don't
the
like the fact that they're saying that I'm not a mercenary, because I would have taken payment for this. I'd have been okay with that.
I can assure you, I made it. Reams of paper are like snowflakes. I know my pages as well as
And,
most people know their children.
Can you
Yeah,
tell me
like,
who bought a
I
portion
like
of
the
this
fact that the
book?
MMO genre seems to be going through a renaissance. We're getting a new expansion for Guild Wars 2, we're getting Endwalker next month. We've just had New World come out, even though I do have my own issues with New World. We've got Elion coming out again, a game that I'm not that fussed about, but it's coming out and it's free to play, so if anybody wants to give that a shout, give it a shout. You've got Lost Ark coming out at the start of next year, which Amazon delayed because they delayed New World, so obviously
Let's get started.
it's to do with
I
the
need this
publishing
information
versus
as
the
soon as possible.
development and how much money they get from all of those. You've got Ashes of Creation in a couple of years' time, which is the one that I'm personally most looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to that game. I have been following their development progress, but even with Ashes of Creation and it being a game that I'm personally really looking forward to, I have my issues with it, and I think I'm trying not to overhype it as much as I can, but there are issues with Ashes of Creation, such as the fact that it costs you a small fortune to get into the alpha testing, and the fact that they're doing 4 more cosmetics, for example. I don't like that. They are going to be a very PvP focused game as well, and that also slightly worries me. Not because I'm against PvP, because I do enjoy PvP, even if I'm not particularly good at it. But more games, like more people play games for PvE than PvP. It's a proven fact that the biggest games in the genre, WoW, Final Fantasy 14, etc., even in old school RuneScape, people played it for the PvE. PvP is more of a sideshow, and if you look at the full PvP games, the likes of Mortal Online, for example, well, that shut because it didn't have enough players. Or you can look at Crowfall, that shut because it didn't have enough. Well, it hasn't shut yet, but it's gonna. That's shutting because it doesn't have any players. They've had to like seriously stop showing how many players they've got and what they're doing and whatnot. And once again, I forgot to summon some of my pets, so clearly I'm paying attention and this is going real well. What am I protecting you from? Centaurs. But the MMO genre, like, I feel like we're going through a time now where it is going to improve, and one of the things that I absolutely love about Guild Wars 2 is the events, you know, like the dynamic events where you can win or lose and the world will change varying, but they kind of just go on a cycle, so it's like, it's almost a dynamic world, but not quite. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking that, because for the technology of the time, it was a very valid dynamic world, and I love that. But Ashes of Creation are doing a node system, which if you don't know what it is, please check it out. There's a good website called Ashes 101, which gives you like a really basic overview of it all. Check out the node system on there, because it is these fates, but imagine the entire world is one of those like fates, the quests kind of things, and the world is dynamic in that way. And that's what I'm here for, like a really vibrant sort of, literally a dynamic fantasy world that you can lose yourself in. It's an Asmongold quote, this, isn't it? I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my time. I want to waste my time, or whatever it is. I can't remember the actual quote. He said, I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my time, but I want a game to make me want to waste my time. I think that was what he was trying to say. And I agree with that. I want to be in a game where I feel like I'm absolutely loving the fact that when I'm not logged into the game, I want to be logged into the game. I want to be part of the world. I want to be exploring the world. I want to be having fun with my friends, my guildies. I want to be fighting monsters or doing PvP battles, or I want to be doing all of those. I am Asmongold and I am a giant dickbag. I mean, you've got a point to a point. Right, I'm going to destroy some catapults.
That's a combat.
I feel like the axe is going to be better for this. And I still need to get myself an offhand weapon for the axe as well. I've been told Warhorn's good, so we're going to go with the Warhorn, I think. And again, Guild Wars 2, it feels like it's got some really solid foundations for the genre as a whole. Like the weapon skills and whatnot, but the weapon skills, I much prefer the way that your weapon skills level up in Elder Scrolls Online, for example. You know, where you can pick your skills that way and level them up. And New World has tried to do that, and like everything else, it's in the game and it's okay, but another MMO's already done it better. That's New World, by the way, for anyone who's interested. It exists. It's an MMO. Ish. Whatever it does, pretty much every MMO's done better. Apart from the gathering and crafting, and apparently even that gets boring after level 30. So, apparently people are getting to level 30 and then they realise that that is the entire game that you've seen, and it's just that on repeat until the end of time now. And they also, a really strange one for New World as well. You can't take items out of the economy. And by that I mean, for example here, I could choose to go and sell all of my crap to any NPC in town. Well, they don't have that in New World. They don't have NPC vendors. And that's just such a basic thing. So there's all these items that are constantly in the economy, and it's just lowering the market value of like the entire market. And it's the same with materials as well. Like, because there's nowhere for them to go, you can get, I believe the final like stage of stuff that you use is the orichalcum, and you can get that for the same price as like bog standard iron, because they don't know how to manage an in-game economy, which is ironic considering it's a game by Amazon. Just, yeah, and the other, you know, great irony of the Amazon Game Studios game is that you can charge taxes in that game. Because we all know how much Jeff Bezos loves those. Taxes don't pay for his spaceship.
Very well. I held up my end of the bargain. You're safe. Now tell me who bought this paper.
Safe? Barely. I feel like I was run over by a herd of marauding Doliacs. That paper was made of pulp from the Severine tree. It's one of a kind. I sold it to Minister Zaman. He has
Again, I really like the fact that this game is
That's all I needed to know.
is voice acted. It shows that they really do care about the game, and it does. Although they can do voice acting really bad. If you want to see some really bad voice acting, have a look at pretty much anything in the Worst MMO Ever series by Josh Strife Hayes. Fantastic. Highly recommend it. Am I still in a cutscene? Has my game crashed? I think my game's crashed. Yeah, we'll try again. I'm probably going to have to redo that whole quest now, aren't I? That's disappointing. Yep, I've got to redo the whole thing. Okay, we're going again. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Right, so I'm just going to skip like most of this now. So you'll forgive me if I skip the dialogue this time, because we've only just been through it, so it should be fine.
Double. How am I supposed to make a profit when you charge so much? Forget it.
I don't see that you have much of a choice, little man.
Money grubbing Norn. You'd spend it.
Right, we did it. Let's go.
Get away from these unclean masses. That armor merchant smells like a seasick.
They're updating the client. Ah, right. So am I just going to have a lot of server issues as I go through this then? Is this a terrible time to be trying to do a quest? Alright, so it's going to be... I'll tell you what, if it crashes again, I will stop the stream there. But hopefully we'll get through it. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm actually really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this stream. I've really enjoyed like talking to everybody tonight. Hopefully you guys all have too. I've really enjoyed just running around, just being a not so terrible Necromancer. Even if I'm not Joanne Voyant. That's going to be Guild Wars 1 when we do that, by the way. Stay tuned for that one. We will do a Guild Wars 1 new player experience. I am going to play a Necromancer, and she is going to be called Joanne Voyant. For those of you who missed that at the start of the stream, one of the girls that I work with is having a party with some friends, and they're having a psychic come to visit. And one of my other colleagues at work asked, "Oh, so is she clairvoyant?" And the girl in question said, "No, she's not called Claire, she's called Joanne." So, Joanne Voyant, watch out for it. Story of Joanne Voyant, Necromancer, Guild Wars 1. So, I've got to admit, I'm looking forward to that. Ban, you're going to be carrying us in that one, it's fine. I'm going to be too busy talking to everybody and pretending it. I'm really enjoying Necromancer. Like, as I've said in like earlier in the stream and stuff, I'm a big fan of playing like a spell sword style class, a hybrid sort of caster melee style thing, and I like that Necromancer gives me that, and it gives me a pet class in this game, which is quite fun because I can swap to my axe and suddenly I can go up close and personal, or I can swap back to my my staff and look like Aragorn and Gandalf had a baby. And the specs from the expansions are really enjoyable. I'll have to try them out. I'm probably going to end up going... Oh, that guy's still alive. Wow, I knew he was there. I was testing you. Yeah, I will probably end up getting to that point, but just so you all know, I am a bit of a variety MMO streamer, so I do bounce around MMOs. One of the streams that I do want to do is the new player experience for Elder Scrolls Online, which I have done numerous times myself already, but I want to do it as part of the stream, and I want to get my stream to pick my character. So I want to go in and I want you guys to, as I'm making the character, you guys tell me what you want me to change. Do you want me to change the nose? Do you want me to move his nose so it's facing the other way? Do you want me... And I imagine we're going to make a creature from, you know, Nightmares. And then you guys get to pick the class that I'm going to play, and it's probably going to be something that I hate, and it's probably going to be an entire playstyle that I hate, but I'm going to do it, and it's going to be hilarious. And I can't wait. I'm probably going to end up as some sort of Khajiit, most likely. Okay, we're going to destroy some catapults. But yeah, I want to do something like that, where I can get people involved in the character. I want to try and do old school RuneScape as a group Iron Man, to show that off, because I know they've just brought that out. And I've not played RuneScape since it was a browser game, and that was so long ago. And honestly, back then I didn't even have a PC, so I had to pay £2 to go to a local cyber cafe and play it with my friends there. And I want to go in, and I'd effectively have no idea what I was doing. But I want to go in and do it on Iron Man, because obviously, why not? Go in and do it on the hard mode. See how hard mode is for a new player. And I want to do things like that. I'm going to be looking at Endwalker when Endwalker comes out, because I was there at the start of Final Fantasy XIV and this particular story arc as well. And for damn sure I'm going to be there at the end. I'm doing Palace of the Dead with Eva and Ban. Hopefully on Sunday we'll continue that. We're trying to get through the harder floors, so you'll get to see like as I always call it, what Torghast from World of Warcraft should have been, but sadly wasn't, because Torghast was an open goal that they missed. Frankly, it should have been so much better than it is. It still disappoints me how bad Torghast is. And the biggest grievance I've got with Torghast is that they made it mandatory, and it had literally no need to be mandatory. Like, making it so you had no choice but to do it. When the whole thing of playing games, we play them for fun. So if they weren't confident enough in the design of Torghast to expect people to run it just because it was that good, then it's just poor on their part. And yeah, if you're looking at my face in this and thinking, God damn, you look pasty and tired, it's because I am both of those things. I have I've been awake since about 2:10 this morning. Because as you've probably seen in the tags for this stream, I do talk about mental health quite a lot, and for my own at the moment, it's not particularly great. I do sometimes get nightmares, and I haven't had them for a while, but they've started coming back recently, and last night was particularly bad. Luckily, I did wake my wife, but only when I eventually got out of bed to go like pee and then come back. But she didn't wake with the nightmares, which is great, because I'd hate for her to wake up and see that. She doesn't need to see it. And so yeah, I'm a bit tired, because the other thing after you get nightmares like that as well that you don't ever really think about is you wake up and you're tense, you really tense up, and my back hurts, and my arms feel tired because I've been clenched up all night because of the nightmares and stuff, and it's just it's exhausting, to be honest. So anyway, back to the fun part. We'll go back to this. Hopefully this won't. Here we go. Oh, it worked. We can leave. It didn't break. We did it. Leave the instance area. So now we've got to go back to Divinity's Reach. To let you all know, I have been playing Guild Wars 1 myself off stream, just because it turns out I actually really like that game. Like, I thought, I'm playing Guild Wars 1, I thought, why not, I'll give it a shot. It's an old game, I'm probably going to be a bit meh about it, and then I played it, and it's absolutely brilliant. Like, it is dated as hell, it doesn't have a jump, it doesn't have glides and stuff, but it is a true old school RPG, and I grew up playing RPGs. I grew up playing JRPGs. I grew up playing, like, I didn't really play a lot of more Western style RPGs until later on with the Elder Scrolls. Because I was a console player. We didn't have a PC. Me and my brother shared a PlayStation. And so I grew up on a lot more, like, old school, like, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Breath of Fire. I still want them to make a new Breath of Fire game. I bloody love Breath of Fire. Absolutely adore it. Breath of Fire 4, I think it was on the PlayStation 1. Quite possibly my favourite Breath of Fire. Then you've got a really underrated game as well, by the way. Star Ocean 3 to the End of Time. Fantastic. Love that game. And then you've got your Tales series and things like that. I played all of those. But Western RPGs I didn't play until I was a bit older. I started playing the Elder Scrolls and like Dragon Age and Mass Effect. And yes, I loved Mass Effect, the original trilogy, apart from the terrible, terrible ending. Apart from that. Somebody just give me a buff. That was kind of them. And yeah, so I grew up big into RPGs and like fantasy worlds and stuff. I'm a big fan of the works of J.R.R. Tolkien. I love The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan as well, even the later ones by Brandon Sanderson. Which, by the way, for anybody interested, the Wheel of Time is coming to Amazon Prime or Netflix, one of them. I believe at the end of November, and I personally can't wait. I am going to geek the hell out and watch all of that. I can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. For nothing else, then it'll teach me how to pronounce half the names. And so I grew up with, I sort of got really into all of that sort of stuff. There's obviously, you know, your Harry Potters and things like that. But my family in the sort of area of the town that I grew up in, let's be honest, you couldn't really be much of a nerd. So I did a lot of sports and stuff, and it turns out I blame sports for a lot of things as to why I couldn't like do the things that I enjoy doing. And then it actually turns out, surprise, surprise, I really like sport. I like watching football. I like watching boxing, MMA. I even watch golf, cricket. I watch them all. I like sport, and for years I only watched it because I thought I had to. And obviously I couldn't go and like play D&D and something like that. Which, by the way, I also want to play D&D on stream. So we need to find somebody who's going to be a dungeon master for us, somebody who's experienced, because I've only ever done one campaign before, and I want to get a few people together who are like that, and then actually just learn how to play D&D while playing D&D. Because you've got Critical Role, and they play D&D and show you how cool it can be and stuff. And that's incredible, and I love Critical Role. Although I've only seen like 3 episodes, it's brilliant, and it's something that I need to get caught up on, but I very rarely have the time to sit and listen to like 2 hours of Critical Role. But I would love to do something like that with completely new players. So it's like almost like an idiot's guide to how to play Dungeons and Dragons, because let's be honest, I am an idiot, so it'd be a guide for me. Let's go see what Logan wants. He's in here. Yes, we would like to go in there. So yeah, even though a lot of you guys are watching me now because I'm playing Guild Wars 2, I'd like to hope that if I do play some other game and you see me going to play that and see what the new player experience is like there, if it's something you've never played before as well, by all means come and watch me and be a noob. We can be noobs together. And you can watch me look like an absolute moron on stream, and I'm perfectly happy to look like a moron on stream, because hopefully I'm at least entertainment while I do it.
It's out and out treason. Nevertheless, he's a government official. I can't call him to trial without more evidence.
I love this, by the way. They can't call him to trial without evidence, apart from the fact that I've walked up and went, you know, this guy here has done this, this, and this. And they're like, no, that's not evidence. No, it isn't. Might as well turn up and he's like, oh yeah, he stabbed this guy to death, because here's the knife, here's the corpse, it's got his fingerprints all over it, and here's a note from him saying, I did it, and they're like, nah, we need more. It's not enough.
One shot, so it's either the party or Zayman's house. I can't give you orders, so let me know how you want to proceed.
Right, what do we want to do? Are we going to go to Zayman's house? Or are we going to go to a party? Personally, I think we go with the Venga Boys choice. And if anybody gets that, I'll know you're as old as I am. So I'm going to wait for a few minutes just to get you all caught up so you can hear what I just said. And hopefully somebody will come back to us and let us know what we're doing. Because I personally vote with the Venga Boys choice. And as I say, if you don't get it, you will. Because I will start singing it, and you'll be horrendously disappointed in me for the terrible, terrible pun that it is. We like to party. We like to party. So we're gonna party. There we go.
Your fellow nobles seem to have a knack for making my life interesting. Let's see if we can return.
What do we get for this? What's good for a Necromancer? Vitality, toughness, power. I reckon power. Right, because Necromancers are all about getting power. But then again, the way that everything works in this game is completely different to anything that I know before, so I actually have no idea. Because I reckon toughness is obviously just going to give me extra armor. Vitality will give me extra HP, and then power will just make me a DPS machine. That's what I think. I might be wrong. So let's see what you guys think. Okay, I'm not going to tank, so we're going to go with DPS. Power it is. I was right. Sometimes that happens. Oh, poo. What do I want to get rid of? You. Away you go. So we need to sell stuff. That's on the to-do list. Double click that actually. I always want more luck. What do I get? Ooh. So we've got a sigil of ice. Okay, which will just chill someone. We've got that, which is... Okay, I'm assuming that's a dot. Or vulnerability means that my next DPS will do extra damage or something. Okay. I'm gonna go with a lightning staff. It's probably totally wrong, but I like the idea of hitting people with that. For it has more icons. Okay. In the bottom right of my inventory, it says deposit all materials. There you go. Spot on. Right, I appreciate that. I did not know that. That has just made life so much easier. Ooh, does this mean I get another summon? Yes. I'm going to summon them all.
Live, my puppet. Live.
There we go. That's what we want to see. I'm just going to be there and I'm just going to have my own personal undead army and I'm going to take over the entire world of Guild Wars 2. That's the dream. Right there. Right, what am I doing next? I need to go to Rurikton. Okay. Okay. So going in here. Is this going to take me into a different zone if I jump down here? Might as well get the map completion while I'm here. If anybody else heard that NPC there shout "Kids today" to divinity, did anybody else want to shout "and beyond," or was it just me? I mean, I'll accept it if it's just me. Who am I talking to here? Okay, I'm looking at the time now. I've been awake for a while. I think I'm going to call it a night. I am streaming again on Sunday. So bear with us 2 seconds while I just get us back to this. See? Professional. Nailed it. It was very nice to meet you. Thank you for watching the stream. I am going to be streaming again on Sunday, but I think it's going to be Final Fantasy XIV, and I think it's going to be Palace of the Dead, provided that both Ban and Eva are available at the time. Honestly, you never need to thank me for the stream. I will be streaming regardless. I'm just happy to have people watching me. If anything, it's me thanking you guys. I can't thank you enough. Without you guys, me doing this would just be a really sad, lonely man. So I really appreciate it. Thank you. Honestly, I'm trying to build a bit of my own community and get people together, and hopefully we can all have a good time and eventually meet up in game and play like different games together. If you guys ever see me play like Marbles or Death by Daylight, Dead by Daylight, or whatever it is, we do that on stream. I'd be happy to, and you'll get to see me die a lot because I imagine I'll probably be the person that everybody's like, "Yep, we're gonna hunt you. Get running." So, looking forward to that. If you guys want, we'll do a raid tonight as well. I'll see if there's anybody that we want to raid. Hopefully I can find something. Because I do think that for small streamers like myself, and hopefully whoever I can find, but my computer's trying to do too many things at once and crying at me. which is nice. Hopefully, if I keep spreading the love in this regards, people will do it for me as well, and I'll always appreciate that. But no, I don't think my computer's going to allow me tonight, unfortunately. It's really struggling. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, I'm not gonna do a raid, unfortunately. It's not happening for us tonight. But I do want to say thanks again for everybody for watching, for being part of this, and thank you again, Lily and Mr. Hawthorne for the follows. Honestly, I appreciate every single person that does that for me. I appreciate everybody that comes to watch as well, because as I've said numerous times through this stream, I fully expected it to just be me just shouting into the void because there was nobody here to listen. And I appreciate that so much. I'm back on Sunday, 7:30, doing Palace of the Dead, provided that Eva and Ban are free. If not, I'm going to continue Guild Wars 2 because I'm really loving this personal story, and quite frankly, being a Necromancer is fun as hell. Eventually, I am going to do Old School RuneScapes, Iron Man. That's to do the Elder Scrolls Online's new player experience with the chat, doing everything. That's to do, and I am going to try and do some. I'm going to try and do a longer stream on Halloween. I'm going to try and do quite a long stream on Halloween, just playing a bunch of Halloween different things, like the Final Fantasy XIV Halloween experience, whatever the seasonal events is in Guild Wars for Halloween. Hopefully they'll have some on. I'll try and do that, and hopefully some sort of horror game as well. I'll download that and I'll do that on stream, and you'll get to see me jump, and I imagine I'll look quite stupid, but hopefully it'll be fun for everyone. And I'm aware, once again, I do this every time I go to finish a stream. I end up taking like 20 minutes to say goodbye because I can't stop saying thank you to everybody for being part of it, because I genuinely appreciate everybody that's turned up to watch me at all, and hopefully you have found it a bit interesting and stuff. So this is genuinely me logging out now. I appreciate you all. Thanks for the follows, the subscribes. There's a Discord you can join below if you want to carry on talking to us. I am pretty much around all the time. I do talk about mental health quite a lot as well, so if anybody has any questions about that, I'm more than happy to talk about it. I've got nothing to hide. Again, this is me actually going, I swear to God, I've said it about 5 times now, but this is me actually going, and I am going to get better at doing this. Thank you all. Good night. Have a good one.